Hey, you goddamn comic book nerds, it's Topo here, and I was inspired by Mr. Rue to do some comic book reviews of my own, so I'm going to fire off my comic reviews for September 10th, 2009. If you are not a comic book fan, please go watch one of my old videos, because you are going to be completely fucking lost, because you're not going to have any idea what I'm talking about. Number 1, Avengers. Dark Reign, the list. Oh yeah, there's probably going to be spoilers in this, just to let you know. This issue kicks off a little mini event called The List, where it's going to be a series of one-shots focusing on different superheroes and superhero teams. Norman has made a list of things that he wants to change in the world, i.e. find Hulk, or whatever the fuck Hulk's doing. Kill Spider-Man, you know, this. He's made a friggin' to-do list. What supervillain doesn't make a to-do list? And in this issue, you're treated with yet another frickin' deep conversation with the Avengers arguing whether or not Clint should kill Norman, which is great, because I haven't seen that in 18 other fucking issues of Avengers, so I'm really glad I got to sit through that conversation again, because I love it. Thanks, Bendis. I appreciate that. You know, it's great. You might as well just frickin' copy and paste fucking panels from the other books, because it's exactly the fucking same. So what else happens in this issue? Oh, fucking nothing. Clint Barton single-handedly, Clint decides he's gonna go kill Norman. Like, that's gonna happen. He decides to kill Norman. He breaks into the Watchtower, single-handedly takes down all the Dark Avengers except for Ares and Sentry. Where the hell Sentry was, no one knows. But anyway, he almost gets to Norman, but then Ares what the fuck pwns him, and then Norman puts him under arrest. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I'll probably end up buying the rest of the list, but it's not because of the strength of this issue. It's because I'm a fucking idiot. Don't buy the list, it sucked. Next. Ultimate Avengers number 2, or what, Ultimate Comics Avengers, whatever the fuck they call it. Captain America's son, his son that he had during World War II, is the Red Skull. Okay, that's kind of neat, I guess. Basically, the government, Captain America fathered this kid. It was in the oven, so to speak, when he was assumed that he died during World War II. So the government took his girlfriend Gail, who I believe was in Ultimates 1, and told her that, you know, you can't have an illegitimate kid because it'll cause, you know, a big ruckus, you know, in the 50s or whatever. So, you know, you have to give the kid to us. So of course the government takes him, and since he's Captain America's kid, tries to mold him into another super soldier. And they say he exceeds his father and everything, and blah, 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 blah. And for some reason, he goes fucking batshit crazy when he turns 18 and kills everybody, cuts his face off, and becomes the Red Skull. It's not bad, but I have a very horrible feeling that you're never going to get any more motivation to why he became the Red Skull than what's in this issue. So maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this issue is kind of bland. I don't know, it's okay. It's not Ultimates 1 and 2. I guess it's unfair to compare it to that, but that's what you're gonna compare it to because Miller's writing it. It's not horrible, it's not great. I don't know, pick it up, I guess, maybe. It's better than Ultimates 3, but fucking what isn't? Next on the palette is Thunderbolts number 135. It's an okay issue. Basically, as you all know, the blonde-haired Black Widow that was in Thunderbolts was really the red-haired Black Widow, who's in every other comic nowadays. God only knows how she has time to do all this. I mean, she's in, you know, Avengers, she's in Captain America, she's in fucking Iron Man, and somehow she's still a spy in Thunderbolts. That bitch knows how to multitask like a motherfucker. But anyway, this issue, her and Songbird are trying to get away, and she's trying to lead, you know, them to safety with Nick Fury. Of course, that doesn't work out; it never does, and basically leads them right into Norman's hands. And the end of this issue ends with Norman shooting Nick Fury in the head 3 times. And it's almost like, you can't, I'm sure you're not going to be able to see this, but it's almost like a Rob Liefeld-like panel, because it shows 3 shots at point-blank range. I don't know how, and his head kicks back. I don't know how you can shoot somebody in the head 3 times at point-blank range like that, standing up. Again, there's no goddamn way that they're killing Nick Fury in this issue of Thunderbolts. If they do, I will eat a section of my car. There is no fucking way he's actually dying, so it's kind of silly. But overall, it's still a pretty good issue, and the overall arc for this new run of Thunderbolts has been good. So, even though I think the ending's stupid, I'll still give it a favorable review. I liked it. So, what else we got here? The Marvels Project, number 2. Good issue. This series is interesting because it's kind of branching off in a lot of different directions. On one hand, you kind of have this year 1 story with this character named the Angel, who I'm pretty sure is an old Timely character, and his learning how to be a superhero, so to speak. And then you also have this kind of story about the Germans and the Americans kind of racing to make a Captain America or a super soldier. So I really like it. I really like the tone of the book. I think it's interesting. It's a bit different than what you're used to reading. So it's interesting. I definitely pick it up. It's a bit of a slow burn so far, so you might want to wait for the trade, but I don't know. Give it a shot. Marvel's Project, Burbaker and Epting. It's hard to go wrong with that team. Next, plowing through this, people. KickAss number 7. Well, you're all gonna hate me because I fucking love this comic. I love this particular issue. I love this series. I love Mark Millar most of the time, though I'm not a complete shill because I didn't give the Ultimates Avengers a very good review. This issue is awesome. The whole series is fucking great. But basically, KickAss, it kind of ties back to the very first issue where you see KickAss getting his balls shocked. But the mob just beats the shit out of him. You find out that Hit Girl and her dad, I forget the dad's name in the comic, but you find out her dad's a big fucking fraud, just like KickAss, really. He's a big comic book nerd that wanted to be a superhero, and he's just a complete sham, and he dies, and KickAss gets beat up, and then, well, I won't give away everything, but cool shit happens, and the little cliffhanger on this is really good. But I really like this book. I really like it. It took a little while for it to get going, but I really like it now. The art's fantastic. It's funny. It's violent. I love it. I think it's great. I know comic book fans hate Mark Millar because he comes up with cool ideas and doesn't write about people punching holes in the walls of reality and shit like that. But I really like KickAss. You should like it too. If you don't, you probably should read fucking, I don't know, Teen Titans or some stupid shit. This is a bad one. I don't know what the hell to call this. Exodus, Dark Avengers, Uncanny XMen. This is the conclusion to the Dark Avengers X-Men crossover. This issue is a fucking mess. Not only is it a mess because you have 3 different artists in the book, which I hate. It's just a weirdly paced book. Weirdly, I don't think that's a word. I don't know, like the Dark Avengers and the X-Men are fighting the whole time, and it's like, it's just kind of, it seems really slapped together. The dialogue, you know, I like Matt Fraction, but he needs to stop trying to be so goddamn clever sometimes. I mean, at one point, you have Mimic fighting somebody, and he's singing that, anything you can do, I can do better. It's just like, it's just so fucking dumb. Like, I don't know, this whole Utopia, whatever the fuck they were calling it, it seems kind of like a non-event, really. I mean, it's set up this, I guess it's set up this new status quo for the X-Men now because they live on this island again. But overall, I mean, I don't know, maybe I just missed the entire point of the series. This issue kind of sums up how I felt about the whole crossover. It's just a jumbled mess, and unfortunately, it's how I feel Uncanny X-Men's been for a while now, but it doesn't really feel coherent or cohesive. It's just kind of there, and there's some interesting moments in this issue, and sometimes, you know, the art can be pretty good. Deodato is pretty talented, but I don't know. But let's move on. Punisher Max, good book. This arc has basically been Punisher meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What else I gotta tell you? Go buy it. DMZ. It's fucking awesome. It's fantastic. Why aren't you reading this book? That's all. Goodbye.